All right, ladies. So when I'm working as a psychic medium, you may kind of see me staring off to the side, looking around, or just merely closing my eyes. It's just my way of focusing on what's coming through. So don't think that I don't want to look at you ladies at all whatsoever. It's just my way of focusing on information, guidance, and so on and so forth. If names do come through, which typically they do, not all the time, but it's either to identify who they are on the other side, who they're with on the other side with, or someone they want to say hello to who is still living. So I may be off of the name, not by the initial or what it sounds like, and it doesn't matter how long someone passed on, could have been recent or many years ago. So if you're thinking about like, oh, this person passed on 10 years ago or 15 years ago or a week ago, there is no time frame in the afterlife. There's mainly the time frame for us here in the physical realm. If you are open to all your family members, meaning like mom's side, dad's side, um, ex-in-laws and all that stuff, just be open to everyone again who's passed on because they're going to do their job to get their message across to you guys here as well. I would say about 90% of the time I'll be looking at my camera rather than looking at you. And obviously, you're gonna know when I'm looking at you, ladies, rather than looking at my camera. So if I'm looking at you, I'm either just paying attention to what you're validating, what you're saying, your feedback, and so on and so forth. Your job here is just to validate, talk back to me. The reason why is that more energy will come through. Also, more information will come through from your loved ones as well. If you don't know my work, which I know you said, Miranda, that you've been to some online group events, you know I'm very blunt, I'm very honest. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat anything. But if something doesn't make sense, just say, hey, AJ, doesn't resonate, doesn't make sense. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I know I can and will be wrong with information, but I will always give what I get when I do this work. If there's other things that you want to ask about, did you say Lisa? Your name is Lisa? Lisa or Miranda, if there's any questions that you want to ask, feel free to interrupt me. Feel free to ask. I'll be honest and let you know whatever question that you do ask about loved ones who are living or passed on, or questions about business, career, whatever that is. I'll let you know. Hey, I'm linking or I'm not linking. But don't be afraid to you know respond back, reply back, or even just communicate because that's a whole process of mediumship. And one last thing, if you do come from a blended family, mixed family, adopted family, whoever you would see as like mom, dad, brother, and sister, will all come the same way. So stepdad could be dad, sister-in-law could be sister, but I'll do my best to interpret the information. But that's kind of the gist of it, ladies. There's not really too much to explain. Is there any questions about what's going to happen here?
No.
No, and I can't assume anything, but you guys probably want me to focus mainly on mediumship, or do you guys want guidance or a little bit of both? But is there one particular session that you want me to focus on more so than the other?
Mediumship.
Mediumship? Okay, just yeah, just bear with me and we'll see where we go.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. I feel like you guys might have like maybe three or four different energies that are coming through. I want to say three for sure because this is how they're coming through. So just bear with me as I kind of sort them out here. Here's the thing. I do need to recognize here, first of all, that I do have a male figure that is coming through that we do need to recognize here, that's here in the spirit realm when he does step forward here. When he does come through, he makes me feel like he's going to be, obviously in my perspective, older than you, Miranda, but I feel like it's going to be on the same level as mom's energy. So would there then be a brother figure passed on for you?
My brother.
Okay, we need to recognize him because when he comes through, he definitely wants to like jump out the gate and say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, because there's just a way with him that I just feel like that he wants to come through as kind of like a very sensitive type of guy, but very humorous at the same time when he comes through. And it's interesting here because when he shows himself, he wants to make sure that he has this opportunity to express his love and gratitude towards you. Now, there's something very interesting that's relating to him because he's talking about more so the physical connection before he passed on. Now, I don't know what your family dynamic is like, nor do I know anyone's, but I just kind of put it out there. But here's the thing, leading up to his passing or his condition, there's something about this that makes me feel like that he removes you from his passing or removes you from that time frame. Now, I don't know if you did not have an opportunity to see him or you couldn't see him, but there's something along the lines here that he's bringing up here that he wants to remove a sense of guilt from you. But I feel like it's okay though, because I don't feel like there's anything that you could have done or fix or prevent. But the way that he shows it to me feels very unique. Does that make sense what he's bringing up here? Okay, when he talks about it, I just feel like in some ways that he wants to identify more so expressing his love and gratitude towards you. Now, there's a very interesting reference that he's showing me, which I could be wrong. Was there a situation here? Like, here's just bear with me. I might be wrong with this because obviously I'm not a doctor, not a physician. I don't diagnose by any means, but I'm only using my symbolism. Is there a situation where someone was taken off life support or taken off a ventilator or something like that that we need to bring up here?
Yeah,
hmm
he was
Is,
taken off
is it is that separate from him or is that with him?
him.
Well,
Him. So here's the thing. I feel like sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. What we do need to bring up here when he talks about it, I just feel like in some ways that we need to emphasize on that time frame. So what I do want to bring up here with you, Miranda, were you close with him, but you didn't also have time? Like, were you guys not around him?
Y- Yeah, he was like my brother too. We're close in age, but he was her brother. We He was in the hospital for with COVID, and this was like the end of 2021. And he my mom reached out to him because we weren't talking to him. My mom reached out to him while
Ah,
he was in the hospital, and I was stubborn and I did it.
okay. I want you to understand that this, by his way coming through as being the first one out the door, it's for both of you guys to hear these messages. It's for you to understand. Again, there's no anger, there's no guilt. Your stubbornness, obviously, he knows that you were stubborn here in the physical realm. So whatever happened here, just know that he's evolving and growing. More importantly, know that those lessons that you need to grow with is part of your process here. So if there's a sense of like, gosh, I wish I had spent more time, gosh, I would have communicated with him. What I would love for you to do is kind of just kind of dump that baggage and energy that no longer serves you because he's not bringing up in a way that it's your fault or you could have fixed this, you could have done that. Sometimes they bring up those things, but most of the time they don't talk about it because it's more so a physical issue that we carry. I just feel like in some ways that when he presents himself, he really wants to be part of the process here for you guys. What's interesting here with him though is that there's a very interesting reference for you, mom, or for mom, for you, Lisa, because when your brother talks about this, again, it doesn't make me feel like it's a bad relationship by any means, but it just makes me feel like in some ways that it just makes me feel like as if the word I want to use is like things can became untied a little, if that makes sense. And I just feel like in some ways that he really wants to emphasize as we're closer now than what we were before. So again, forget all kind of like we couldn't travel, we couldn't see whatever that situation was. I just feel like in some ways that he wants to present himself as someone again more humorous than anything else. Like I just feel like that he wants to come through in a way that a big cheesy smile and make you laugh, to be quite frank, because I really believe that's who he was. Because when he shows me these kind of quick little flashes, I'm gonna say it because I do have a symbol of this. It's kind of like the old Kool-Aid character, like the big smile. That's the way he comes through, kind of like a big cheesy smile. And I just feel like in some ways that he wants to like, I'm still the same guy. I'm still the same guy. Now, I do need to bring this up here for both you girls because when he talks about this, even though he's kind of like the brother figure, uncle figure, your brother figure, I'm just gonna call him the brother figure, even for you, Miranda, because I just feel like in some ways that he wants to be like, how can I say this? He wants to be jokative, like playful, but I feel like in some ways, but also respectful, like giving you guidance to both you girls at the same time. So it's kind of like I want to make sure that both you girls have a good head on your shoulders. And I just feel like in some ways that I just feel like that he wants to help you girls navigate the physical realm because he's telling me it hasn't been easy since he's left. And I just feel like in some ways that whatever difficulties that you guys have been experiencing physically, emotionally, and so on and so forth, I just feel like it's his way of saying like I'm gonna help turn you into the right direction. Basically, he's not gonna tell you what to do, but he can definitely lead you in the right direction. And I just feel like spiritually speaking, I always joke around, but I'm very serious about this, that he's truly pulling strings for you from the other side. So I need both you girls to understand that wherever you stand, it's his way guiding you guys in his own unique way. Now I need to bring something up here, and I feel like I probably want to go to you, Miranda, more so than to you, Lisa. I could be wrong because it might be for you, but was your brother figure, uncle figure, was he kind of like a prankster?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to break up something very like unique, and it's not just kind of like one thing, but it makes me feel like it's kind of like the one event that occurred. Like I don't know if it's kind of like the one story we all talk about, the one prank that we all share about, but there's something about the oneness that we need to bring up here as if he was a king of that prank or the king of this thing that no one can beat him, no one can do this. Like there's something about this that he wants to emphasize on. So what would that reference be?
Mustard.
Okay,
no,
what is what's the mustard reference?
they went to the backyard to scare you.
Oh,
That was it.
scaring me. It could be either mustard for putting mustard in people's mouth when they're sleeping, or he liked to scare the heck out of me, like scare me, like I was gonna get robbed or murdered, kind of scare.
So here's the thing, I can't tell you if it's that one My impression, I'm probably gonna go with a mustard one because that is so unique for me. I probably wouldn't even get that reference. If he's known as a Mustard King prankster, that would make more sense. And I just want to make sure that in a very humorous way, perhaps one of you guys need to continue his legacy. So I just feel like in some ways that he wants to make sure that we kind of continue being the practical jokers and being the practical jokester in the way that he wants to come through. So if it's for you, other family members, and so on and so forth, we just need to recognize this. Now, what we do need to bring up here, and I could be mistaken in the process here, um, for you, for you, Lisa, is mom still here for you? Okay, we need to recognize your mom because I keep on hearing mom, and if it wasn't going to be your mom, it would be your mother-in-law. But we do need to bring up, well, let me understand something. So, is your mother-in-law also passed on then? Yeah, so I have two ladies. So just bear with me. As I mentioned, one, two, three. We might have a fourth one. So just bear with me because I mentioned there might be four. But we do need to bring up the two ladies. So we have mother-in-law and your mom that's coming through. When your mother steps forward here, I just feel like in some ways that she obviously wants to like spiritually embrace you right off the bat. Like there's just a way with her that she wants to recognize more so not like her love, but more so a sense of tenderness and strength. And I feel like when your mom steps forward here, there's a way with her that she really wants to emphasize on making sure that she has the ability to communicate with you. Typically, when I hear the word communication, it represents what were left unsaid verbally or how they couldn't communicate before they passed on. I feel like with your mother, she really wants to communicate and making sure she has this opportunity to speak with you. Now, Lisa, are you open to everything that comes through?
Yes.
Okay, I might be wrong with something and I don't want to put myself like my foot in my mouth by any means, but was your mom pretty rough with you?
No.
Okay. Was there some difficulty with your relationship then with mom?
No.
Okay. There's something I'm bringing up here. If it's not there, then we need to bring up then your mother-in-law, not in a bad way. And I want you to understand this, either with your mom or either with your mother-in-law, who would be like the S name, like Sharon, Shirley, something like that, that's passed on female.
Sylvia.
My mom's name is Sylvia.
Okay, yeah. So it lets me know this. So there's something I might be misinterpreting then with your mom or the relationship. So bear with me. You're not one of three girls, are you? Or three siblings?
Yes.
You are. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm missing something so obvious. Well, you're saying no, but I need to give you the message. And again, I don't mind being wrong, but she's claiming then either another female, like another daughter, or another sibling we need to bring up here, or something went like awry, like something did not take place or something did not settle with one of their relationships.
So it could have been my mother-in-law. I mean, my mom was the sweetest. Like there was nothing she could.
Is it in life, like before my grandma passed away, or because I know my mom is upset with my grandma right now, like with her being in the afterlife.
Okay, well explain that to me, Lisa, because I need to understand because I'm missing something so obvious. And by any chance with your mom, is by any chance with your mom, is the month of June significant to her?
That's what she passed.
She passed.
Yeah. Okay. So then this is for you, Lisa. Like I know I'm not so I'm misinterpreting something. It's nothing to do with you, but why you're upset with your mom? I need to understand this.
Because I just had my youngest daughter pass away in November, and I'm kind of my faith right now is not good, so I'm kind of upset with her and my brother because they're both up there, and I was all we prayed in them to please, allow my baby to be okay here with us.
Wow.
But she's gone. She's gone. She actually passed away on my mom's birthday. My daughter.
Oh, you just gave me goosebumps. So that's probably the fourth energy, like that I mentioned. Like there's four. So this is probably then your daughter's way trying to come through via your mother. So what I want you to understand, if your mom is really pushing the situation, like there's some sort of issue, there's some sort of problem, it's more so in the afterlife you're upset with her. This is probably her way, kind of like bridging things, like kind of putting things to rest for you. And I know it's not easy. I can never imagine and put myself in any parent's shoe by losing a child by any means. But what I do see this is part of your mom's way of making sure that you understand her way working and working with you, not just with the medium, but with you to bring through your daughter. Because if this is her way trying to say, like, I need to make sure my daughter, you, Lisa, are taken care of, you're okay. I just feel like it's her way of making sure that she's doing her job, even though that you would not obviously want your daughter to be taken here from the physical realm. I don't believe that your mom or your brother obviously had any control by any means of what happened here physically with your daughter. What's interesting here, and again, you're okay with me, both you girls being very honest with everything that comes through. What's interesting here is that daughter your daughter is not giving me the impression what I would typically get as someone who would have passed like suicide or an overdose or this and that. Like this is definitely a medical thing or a medical malpractice. Like there's something about this that we need to bring up here that we need to look at here. What's interesting here is that I feel like here, and I don't want you to kind of go down the rabbit hole, but in the way that she talks about it or shows it to me in quick flashes, it makes me feel like that there might be some anger more so put to physicians, put to medical rather than to your daughter, if that makes sense. Because it makes me feel like that, excuse my language, but it's like I got screwed in. I got fucked in the situation. I was trying to protect my daughter. I was trying to do the best that I can, and medical took her away from me. Like God took her away. Like I feel like there's a lot of that. And I just feel like that your daughter comes through in a way knowing how angry you are because she couldn't physically be saved, medical or by physicians. Whatever happened in the event and how severe or how like how severe it was, excuse me, I just feel like in some ways that she wants to make sure that we truly rip off that band-aid on your heart. And I know it's not easy to do, but I call it like the band-aid effect that we put it on and we're like, we're okay most of the days, we're navigating, we're moving through life. But when we kind of take off that band-aid, it's like, excuse my language, crap, this hurts. Like this doesn't feel good. I don't want to deal with it. I just feel like in some ways your daughter recognizes the pain that both you girls are going through. What I want to bring up here for you, Miranda, is this would be your biological sister though, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So what we do need to bring up here, I need to thank you for like being like I don't know if she was older than you, your sister, but what she wants to come through in a way is thanking you for taking care of her. And I just need to recognize this in a very, very big way because it's almost like we're having our own time together. We're having our own like what I'm hearing, it's almost like music sessions basically. So I don't know if you guys went to music stores, which they don't have anymore, but I'm seeing a lot of music and I just feel like in some ways that she wants to come through and validate that she's working with you through music. So whatever music she enjoyed or what she loved, she wants you to understand that she's sending you music or working with you through music. And it could be random moments that say that you're listening to Pandora or Spotify or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, boop, the song pops up. I just feel like it's her way of saying like, that's me. That's me, because I just feel like that this energy could have been a very tiny energy, but a very bold and loud and sassy energy in the way that she comes through. I just feel like in some ways with you, mom, I just feel like that I need to thank you in a very humorous way for giving her everything that she needed and she wanted. And I just feel like in some ways that I really believe that she's kind of like, don't take this the wrong way, what I'm about to say, but kind of like the diva. Like whatever she wanted, she got type of thing. And I just feel like in some ways she wants to thank you for doing that here in the physical realm. Now, I need to kind of go back to something which I feel like I might be wrong. And just all I want from either one of you girls is a simple yes or no. With your daughter, unless I'm bringing through another female figure that would be similar to your daughter that would be passed on, it would make sense to me. But if it's not, this might be relating to your daughter, your sister. So here's the thing. Was she in a hospital for quite some time? Okay. Here's the thing. There's something very similar that they're showing to me is my mother-in-law who's retired, who used to work for CHOC, which is Children's Hospital of Orange County. I'm seeing some sort of treatment in the way that she's bringing up here, but I'm not getting in the way that I would get it as my typical cancer or my typical thing. There's something that seems out of line or out of whack, if you will, respectfully, what may have occurred. So, say hypothetically that your daughter had cancer and we try to treat that cancer, but also the treatment that we try to do went down or went like haywire in some capacity. Was there some sort of like what I would see as some sort of blood clot or something like this, or like a stroke that may have happened to her?
Had a blood clot.
She
Okay,
was
you can validate. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
she was going to Phoenix a children's hospital, getting treated for
Pancreatitis.
acute pancreatitis, and they had to switch her to a grown-up hospital. And we decided to have a surgery for her pancreatitis, and a week after that, she had a blood clot. So that's where like the children
Wow.
transition to a
Adult.
adult hospital.
Wow. I mean, I literally have goosebumps and I literally have tears in my eyes. What I need to make sure from your daughter for both you, mom, sister, I'm meaning the whole family, in the events that occur, which is probably why it makes more sense to me now, why you're upset medical wise of what happened. Like she was treated here and then she was moved here to this unit or this thing. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. And I just feel like that she doesn't want to blame you by any means for whatever decision that had to be made medical wise. So if you feel like that, if I would have kept her here at this children's hospital, this wouldn't have happened. Like I just feel like in some ways there was some sort of dire need in my perspective that she needed that adult location to adult medical, if you will, in the way that she presents herself, because I just feel like in some ways that she really wants to wave the flag and saying like I'm okay, because I just feel like that for you, mom, there's a way that she wants to bring some light to you, because in the moments now, and I don't even know how recent or how long ago she passed on, and you don't need to tell me, but what she's bringing up here is that there's been more of the dim nights and days rather than the light days. And I just feel like in some ways, symbolically, I've got this new symbol, probably maybe in the last year. Maybe the last year, probably that I got this, not just this year, but anytime I see a flashlight, it's their way giving it to the client and the way letting you know that you are the light, you need to shine. And I feel like in some ways that you're not allowing your light to shine in the way that you need to, because of not only the loss of, say, your mom, your brother, now your daughter. Like I just feel like in some ways that we do need to recognize in a very, very big way that your daughter is here for you, but also your sister is here for you. Now, I'm gonna bring something up here for you, and I'm gonna look down at you, at Miranda. I see you wearing a hat, and I don't know what your hairstyle is like, but she wants to talk about your hat, your hat, your hat.
Um, I do wear hats a lot, but also I wear wigs sometimes. I don't know if that's what she's referring to.
Okay, do you have a wig on now?
No, no.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know what it is, but there's something about like underneath your hat or your hat that she's bringing up here, and I don't like. Let me tell you what I'm being shown. I don't know how young or how old you are, and I don't want you to tell me your age. And this might be a little bit older reference, maybe not. But do you remember the TV show Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, did you? I don't know how well you remember the episode, but what your sister is showing me is a scene where Monica, which is Courtney Cox, they go somewhere. I forgot what trip, and she gets her hair done in braids, like Jamaican braids. That's what I'm being shown.
Oh, she watched Friends with us. But I get my hair done like that, like kind of like not in braids, but it's fake hair woven into braids.
You gotta be kidding me. You
And
got
I explained that to her maybe a month before she passed. I had it in my hair and I was sitting here, I was explaining. Mom's like, she don't care. And I'm like, yeah, she does, she's listening. And that's what it is.
You literally gave me, yeah, you can't make this up. This is what I love about spirit communication. Like moments like this, even for me, is her way of letting you know that is aware of that conversation. She was paying attention. So don't think that she wasn't paying attention, mom, or she wasn't paying attention, sister. She's bringing it up here because she's talking about something humorous and funny about that moment. This might be your sister's way then teasing you, Miranda, just a little bit, saying like, "Why'd you do that to your hair?" type of thing. So I just feel like in some ways it's her way being very playful in the way that she shows herself to me. What's interesting about her though is that when she comes through, she just wants to come through again as a very, very big burst of energy rather than someone who's very like not communicative in that by any means. So what I find funny about this though is that there's a reference that she's bringing up here that she's talking about more so before she was ill or before like what happened here, but I'm not understanding something fully in the process here. So I'm gonna only use it in a very loose way, but it might be very literal or it might be symbolic. Was she was she needing some sort of assistance, either like crutches or a wheelchair or something for like mobility wise that we need to bring up here?
She was totally incapacitated.
She was in a
She
wheelchair.
was in a wheelchair. She's totally wheelchair bound.
Okay. I need to tell you that she's walking in heaven. She does not have a wheelchair. She does not have crutches. She doesn't have anything. What I need to make sure you understand, mom and sister, that she doesn't have any of these disabilities. She doesn't have any of these issues. She doesn't have any of these problems at all whatsoever. What people don't understand, we feel like that because we remember them and how they were before they passed on, they take on those disabilities and those issues. That's not the case. Your daughter, your sister is fully evolving and growing, saying, I can walk in heaven, I can do what I want. And I can assure you that your grandmother, her grandmother, your mom, and her, I guess, great uncle is the one that brought her through, and including your mother-in-law as well. So I feel like there's multiple people all jumping at the bit to be part of the process for you guys, not for me. I just feel like they want to make sure that they have this opportunity to be here for you. What's interesting here with one of you girls is one of your birthdays coming up or just passed? They're bringing up my birthday. Was my birthday's in the month of April, so where's April connected at?
My birthday is April 6th.
Mine's on the 23rd, so happy birthday from your sister. So I just feel like it's her way wishing you a happy birthday from the afterlife to let you know that she's with you. I just feel like it's her way making sure that again that she's coming through loud and clear in the way that she needs to be here in her own means. It's so weird with her because in the way that she communicates, she's a very clear communicator, which is what I like. It makes my job a little bit easier, but it's not like a verbal communication. But I just feel like in some ways there's something very interesting for you, Mom. Well, let me backtrack on something. Just yes or no. Is there another sister figure for you, Miranda, that's still living?
No, no, not a sister. No,
Okay, as long as I know. So here's the thing. This might then be for you. I was wondering if it's going to be for another sister figure or mainly for you. So just bear with me. Is there a unique reference? Is there a unique reference that we need to talk about? I feel like I'm going to be wrong about this. Where we would have someone's like kind of like their ballerina box or their jewelry box or something like that.
I have Nana's box. I think it's Nana or Nina's.
The jewelry box.
Yeah. Well, I do have two jewelry boxes actually. I have two different ones.
Would that so who would the jewelry box would it be to someone who's already passed on that we already acknowledged?
Yeah.
So this would be your mom, your grandmother's?
Yeah. My mom's mom.
It makes sense, but I'm trying to understand then where I'm going to go with this. Is there any reason why I need to talk about this? Like, let me ask you something. Like, are you getting engaged? Or are you getting married?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Far from.
Okay. There's something about like either symbolism or some sort of significant meaning that we need to bring up here, but it feels like it's almost like as we wore the ring or we wore the thing, like there's something about this. It feels, it doesn't feel like it's just the box. Like, are you somehow repurposing like your grandma's necklace or her ring or like I don't know what it is.
No. My mom has her wedding ring but that's probably not it.
Unless somehow Lisa you're repurposing it or you're like somehow redoing something with, yeah, I would take that. Most mediums would say, "Oh yeah, like you have the ring." I'm not one of those mediums. I have to stick to what they're showing me. But I feel like there's something about like redoing something or somehow changing something with it. Unless we need to kind of look at your mom's ring as if there's a diamond loose and we got to get it refixed. There might be something like that, but just make note to what I'm saying because I don't want you to make it fit. My job as a medium is never to make the information fit for you guys. It's for you to hold on to it and let you kind of like figure that out because it might be like, oh, that's what my grandma was talking about, or that's what my mom was talking about. But I just feel like in some ways that we need to talk about that. What's interesting here is that there's a very unique reference here that we need to bring up here then from your mother because I just feel like in some ways that even though that you said you have a little some anger there with her, she doesn't come through in a way that's obviously in a negative form. It's just more so obviously what you're carrying. But I just feel like in some ways there's just kind of like a very meek, woman in a way that kind of just stands in the background saying like I'm here, but doesn't want to take away like the experience from your daughter or from your brother and so on and so forth. So I see it as a sense of unity in the way that they show themselves to me. Now, there's an interesting reference here that we need to bring up here with the daughter figure, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the daughter figure, if I'm not mistaken, or this is back to you, Lisa. Is the month of December significant or the 12th of a month significant?
My daughter who passed, her birthday's in December.
Okay. So what I want you to do, and here's the thing, I don't want to, I don't want to ask, but I kind of want to know, but I don't want to know. I'll probably understand after the end of the session. She wants to make sure that you continue to celebrate her birthday. like continue to celebrate. And I just feel like in some ways that the way that she brings it up here, I just feel like in some ways that she's celebrating with you. So every time you do the birthdays or these big moments, I just feel like it's her way of making sure that you know that her soul and spirit is there with you. But I just feel like in some ways there's something very interesting that she's showing me relating to you, or perhaps this is someone that has it already now. But would you have somehow created something that I would see of your daughter that would be some sort of like not religious, but kind of more of angelic thing that we need to bring up here of your daughter? Like, say we superimpose some sort of angel wings on her or somehow did something like that. Like, I feel like there's something about this that she wants to bring up here as like, thank you for honoring her. Thank you for having this out. Thank you for doing this. But there's something along the lines here that she's bringing up here that her soul and spirit was with you during that time frame. So, what would be the reference?
Well, we we go to the cemetery and we have to put our own base in there. So you would print
I
out
made a sticker, a picture of
Okay.
her with big like
wings,
wings, pretty wings.
and we would put it on the base because, of course, we
Yeah.
don't have her headstone yet, and we want people
Wow.
to know that she's right there.
I want you to know that this is her way of saying thank you, sister, for creating that. Thank you for honoring her because something so small like that is a big validation from them, saying that they're with you, saying that they see what's happening here. And I just feel like it's your sister's way trying to continue that legacy and that connection, how much she's with you. What we do need to bring up here with you, Miranda, is that when your sister comes through, there's just a way with her that she wants to thank you for being strong for mom. So I just feel like it's so important because what the way that she brings it up here, you kind of have this selfless energy when it comes down to like, I'd rather be strong for my mom than worry about myself. And I just feel like that you have been the back support, the back beam, the safety net for your mother. As much as you feel like that, I gotta like take care of myself. You're there for your mother. And I just feel like that you guys truly lean on each other energetically. But I just feel like in some ways that your sister kind of puts these healing hands, these healing energy around you, Miranda, in a way knowing that she sees what you're doing for mom and being there the best way that you can along with you trying to navigate your own emotions and your own grief. So I don't think that your sister doesn't want you to not support your mom or not support yourself, but I just feel like there might be a healthy balance that your sister's trying to bring up here is this is something that you need to also need to do for yourself. So what I can tell you, like I just feel like the anger that you guys need to release, I think it's something both you, Lisa, and Miranda, that you both need to kind of put that energy out there and be truly pissed off and angry and upset because they're okay with it. They're not upset with any of that stuff that we go through. I think it's more so they're upset because they can't physically be here and support you in the way that you want them to and the way that you need to. And I just feel like in some ways they're around us because they have us. I just feel like with your sister, there's just a way with her that she really wants to kind of like she's using a very unique I don't think it's a unique saying, but I haven't heard it in years. But she wants to say that she's continuing to fly high is the way I'm hearing it. And I want you to understand that because whatever meaning that makes sense to you, mom, or to you, sister, she's saying, I'm flying high, I'm flying high, I'm flying high. And I just feel like in some ways that she's finally able to kind of like live her best life with maybe not without any disabilities, any health issues, any of that stuff. And I just feel like that she's truly a free bird, if you will, when she comes through because I just feel like in the way that she shows herself to me, she wants to symbolize that truly, again, she has her wings, she can fly. So I think there's multiple references that she wants to bring up here for both you girls, honestly, to recognize that connection of how she shows herself to me. Now, there's a reference that she's bringing up here, which I don't even know where the heck I'm going here, but okay, this might be a little left turn. Did she lose a dog? Okay,
Yeah, the
she
dog.
has a dog with her. So to me, I want to recognize the dog is part of the family, and I just feel like we need to identify because as I'm looking, I'm like, I was gonna label it, but I rather just identify it. So to me, when I say identify it, it feels like kind of like I just adopted a GSP, a German short-haired shepherd. So I'm seeing something very similar to that type of style dog that would be like a pointer, a shepherd, something like that that we need to bring up here that we need to recognize as if that animal is with her. But what's interesting here, I just feel like there's like two different ones that we need to bring up here. So I don't know if it's either hers and another family member's, hers and someone else. But is there then two dogs that we need to bring up here?
There's like four.
I have two. I can tell you two for sure. I don't get four just to be respectful, but I have two for sure. Would one of them be a pointer by any chance or like a shepherd dog?
One of them would be
Oh,
German
yeah.
Shepherd.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then the other one would probably be her dog. So I can tell you that we do have two separate dogs that are coming through. Whoever's dog is who, I don't want you to like say, oh, that's mine or that's hers. But what I can tell you, she has the animals with her in the afterlife. This lets me to believe that she was obviously an animal lover. She loved animals. She loved these things. So I know there's a way with her that she still wants to say, like, I'm still young. I can communicate. Now, there's interesting when she says, I can communicate. I think you may have kind of validate this, but maybe not. Was she oh my God, I can't think of it. I know you said she was wheelchair bound, but this
Terrible.
doesn't mean where I'm gonna go with it though. I hope it doesn't. Was she what do you call them? Oh my God. Someone that had cerebral palsy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did.
Okay. I just feel like in some way, so was she not she's telling me she's able to communicate when she was here in the physical realm. But I don't know if people did not think she was communicating. So I want to make it clear that when she communicated like in a way like almost grunts, like in a way like this is what I want, like this is what I need. And I just feel like in some ways that when she got excited. And I just feel like in some ways like that's the feeling I have. I wish I can transfer what I'm feeling here and give it to you, mom, and give it to you, sister. It's a feeling of like, I'm here with my mom, I'm here with my sister. Like, I just feel like in some ways that she's able to communicate. So, again, your daughter and your sister's really emphasizing the way, like, whatever, like, issues that she had here, there's not the issues. Like, she's coming through in a very well-mannered person that's able to communicate in the best way that she can. Now, I just feel like in some ways that when she shows herself to me, she just comes through as a person, as an individual still in the afterlife, someone with a huge heart. Like I just feel like in some ways that she wants to identify how big her heart was. Like I'm gonna say something quite interesting. I kind of get oh my God, in a very interesting way, kind of like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. Like I just feel like there's a kind of sense of it. Like he was always happy, always very positive, no matter what was going on. There was always that positive outcome, but kind of like little gets giddy in its own unique way. And I just feel like that your sister, your daughter wants to come through in a very high positive energy rather than someone who's like, again, sad or so on and so forth. Now, there's an interesting reference that she is bringing up here, which I feel like I could be wrong or I might be mistaken. But either then with you, mom, or you, sister, would you actually have like some sort of unique, like throw pillow or throw blanket that we need to talk about?
Yeah, I have it.
Actually, the
It could be a couple things.
Okay. Okay. As long as it makes sense to you, I want you to hold that and keep that personal to you because if she's bringing it up like to throw a blanket, to throw a pillow, and if you have like a couple things that make sense, it might be her way saying, one, I see that you sleep with it. I see that you hold on to it. I see that you use it. It could be her way saying that her soul and spirit is absolutely positively with you in those moments because I just feel like in some ways, I feel like that she's trying to make sure that she's with you guys in different ways. Now, I need to bring something up here, and I might be wrong with this, but I hope I'm wrong what I'm about to say to you, Miranda. Um, do you not live with mom?
I do.
Did you just move in with her?
No, I've been here. I lived here for the lack of words, better words, with her. I was here because I wanted to be close to my sister. Or I am. Well,
So I'm gonna I know it's gonna come off in a very harsh way, not in a harsh way, but kind of like probably something you don't want to hear right now because it's kind of still early, probably in your healing and grieving. But I feel like that your sister wants you to spread your wings, for you to do the things that make you happy. And I feel like the move is important, what you need to do. And I feel like that you feel guilty for moving because like now I'm abandoning my mom and she has no one. Like I just feel it doesn't mean that you don't have anyone, Lisa, but the feeling that it comes through that she wants you to spread your wings, Miranda. So you need to do it in the way that makes sense to you. Doesn't mean that you have to do it now in 3 months. It could be a year down the road, 2 years down the road, or even sooner. You're gonna know that, but your sister wants to guide you and making sure that you're happy and you're focusing on what you need to do because of selfless energy along with your sister in spirit, you guys give energetically. And I think you guys gave so much, not only to your sister, but to your mom, to everyone. It was all an exchange of energy with each other. Honestly, it's almost like When someone held someone else's hands, we exchange that energy. And that's the way I'm seeing it, is that we all did everything we could for each other. And I feel like that unity feeling is your sister really wants to make sure that you focus on you, what you need to do. So if it means like finding a new home, apartment, finding a new job, whatever that looks like, I feel like it's her way shining some light for you, making sure that like everything's gonna work out in the way that it needs to. So don't have any fear. Let it happen organically because I just feel like it's her way seeing change that is going to happen here. Now, there's an interesting reference here that when we talk about your daughter, Lisa, is that there's a way with her, like when she shows me these references, it's more so like words that I'm getting rather than what I'm being shown as visions as most of the time. But I just feel like in some ways that it's kind of like in a very unique way, they don't come through with anger. So I want to be very, very clear what I'm about to say. But the words that come through, it's kind of like, how can I say it? Because I'm trying to piece it together, but I would want to use the right language. It's like she was pissed. She was angry because her life was cut short. She was angry because this happened. She was angry because of that. And I just feel like in some ways that your daughter dealt the cards that she was given. And I just feel like in some ways that she was doing everything she possibly can with the cards that she was given. So I just feel like in some ways she's emphasizing how she evolved and did everything in her power to keep going. But more importantly, it's more, I think it goes to you, Lisa, that she's proud of you. Rather than you being proud of your daughter, I feel that she wants to say, I'm proud of you, mom, not only for taking care of her and doing these things that you need to do, but more importantly, how you're healing on your journey. So even though it may not be an easy ride, which I know grief is not an easy ride by any means, I feel like it's her way of making sure that she's shouting this loud and clear is for you to take those baby steps in that process to heal those wounds in those ways. Now, what's interesting about your daughter though, Lisa, is that when she talks about you, there's a way with her that she just shows me kind of like in a very respectful way. Are you on your own? I mean, like, are you not married?
I'm married.
Okay. Dad is still living, her husband? I mean, your husband,
Her
her
dad.
dad, your husband, forgive me. Okay.
Yes.
Would he be a J name, like James or Jimmy or something like that?
His we call him
Junior.
Junior.
Junior. Okay. Can you tell Dad that she says hello from heaven? Like this is her way acknowledging him into the reading. I think it's important for Dad just to hear this little message, to just know that his baby girl, his daughter is safe, because I feel like it's important for you guys as parents to heal. And that's the biggest thing, and that's the difficult thing at the same time is again losing a child, but obviously losing the sister. So I just feel like in some ways that she really wants to make sure that she gets her message across or out to people that need to hear those messages as well. There's a reference that we do need to bring up here, which we do need to identify then with Dad, which I feel like I might be wrong with, but would Dad somehow, or with you, Mom, would you somehow have her in your car with you? Your daughter?
Are
Yeah, do you like carry her with you in your car?
like a picture or
That would
something.
make sense for me, yeah.
We have a picture and he carries her. Well, it's probably him. He carries
He has a rosary.
with her picture on it. He wears it all the time.
That would make more sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, you just give me goosebumps. Tell Dad thank you because it's her way of recognizing that energy. Like I just literally just got goosebumps in the way. I wish I can transfer the feeling and how it feels and just pop it over to you through this camera. But I just feel like it's her way of making sure Dad understands like I'm with him, I'm guiding him, I'm protecting him on that journey. So when Dad's traveling, work, whatever that looks like, I just feel like it's her way of making sure that Dad is being taken care of as much as again he should be taking care of his daughter. His daughter's taking care of him. So I just feel like in some ways that what's quite frank about this, like I don't know how young or how old your daughter, your sister was here in the physical realm, but she's quite bossy in the way that she comes through. Like I just feel like in some ways, like as much as I feel like I want to switch gears in my own ways of doing mediumship, I just feel like it's like kind of like AJ, don't just do it my way. Communicate the way that I want to communicate. Like I just feel like that she has her own style, her own means, and I'm laughing about it because like sometimes spirits have an attitude in the way that comes through, but it just shows that they're bold and their sassiness, if you will, how they were here in the physical realm. I believe that's kind of her personality. So was she bold, sassy, loud in that way?
Even though she can talk, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was on the sofa like hard, like okay,
Trying to get our attention.
attention.
Or
I'm telling you, she's a good communicator. So again, even though she couldn't verbally communicate, she's communicating very well. So again, this is her way of making sure that that she's gonna find her ways to get your attention. What we do need to understand here, and this might then be something that she's trying to communicate with you guys, meaning separate from the medium, separate from the session, meaning this might be something either that happened already prior or that happened after, that's going to happen after the session. So I'm kind of going to look at you girls and kind of look at the camera at the same time. But what I want you girls to kind of recognize is that how your daughter, your sister communicate, like by tapping or doing these things, there might be references that she's trying to bring up here as if you're hearing tapping, thumping, as if someone's knocking. There might be references like that. She's telling me to tell you, pay attention, pay attention. So if you hear kind of like knocks or bumps, what we call, if you will, in our work, it might be your way saying, Mom, I'm trying to get your attention. Sister, I'm trying to get your attention. I don't think your sister or your daughter is haunting your home by any means. I don't think we're ever stuck here, but I think it's part of that residual energy just to let us know here in the physical realm that they're safe, they're okay, and they're around us. And I feel like your daughter's trying to get your attention. So what I would love for you to do, if you haven't had any unique quote unquote paranormal experiences, which I see as normal, I feel like you're probably gonna have some unique experiences after the session, both you girls, that you might have these pops and bangs and knocks and so unique things that may happen because this is your daughter's way saying, I'm trying to let you guys know that I'm around you and I'm safe and I'm okay. So if I can ask you, have you guys had unique things happen already in the home?
Yes.
Yeah, not
Really?
for
Really?
a lot.
Oh,
She I know we know that she's around us because the music you said, like I'll get in one time we got in the car right after decorating her grave, and I don't know if you know Ain't No Fun by Snoop Dogg
Oh yeah. Yeah.
on the radio because all of the birds, but she loved that song. She didn't know what it was about, but she
Oh,
loved it. And it's on the radio right after. So like that's just one way of her being, or like just different signs.
wow. Wow. I mean, those moments, again, those are personal moments not even myself, a medium, can take away from you. And I think it's so important for you to remember those things, those moments, those memories of her way communicating with you because those are the important things that they're trying to communicate with you guys. Again, how much is still around you. So when you're decorating the gravesite or doing this or doing that, like whatever that looks like to you, it's her way of validating those experiences for you to make sure you know that they're real. Like sometimes spirits will do amazing things that sometimes we think like, oh, we're second guessing it, or maybe it's this, it's maybe that. I believe your loved ones are trying to do multiple things to get your attention. There's a reference that we do need to bring up here, which I don't think we acknowledge them yet, but I kind of want to backtrack to someone, or we're bringing through someone separately. Um, so mom, your dad is still here,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
oh, my dad. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
He's
So here's the thing. I might be wrong with this. Would he be like Patrick, Peter, Paul? Like who would be the P name?
so his name is Julio. There's no P, but my brother's name is Paul.
The
That's
one that we talked about earlier. Okay. So that's why I feel like I want to go back to something. I feel like I want to go back to something. So long as I know that your brother, and I kind of want to laugh about this, he's kind of saying like I'm still here basically. That what that means to me as a medium, like, hey, I'm still in the background. Like, don't let my niece take all the time, basically. So I just feel like that he kind of wants to say I'm still here as well. So sometimes when spirits do that, it's their sense of humor, their energy, knowing they're still part of life. And I just feel like that your brother obviously is coming through by yelling like this is who I am, this is how I'm connected. But I just feel like in some ways that he's really emphasizing on those things for you. Now, I kind of want to backtrack on something, which I don't know where I'm going, but with your sister, yeah, with your sister. So for you, Miranda, with your sister, we need to bring something up here that's relating to you. So even though that you set this, you said you moved in to your mom's, your parents' place to spend more time and take care of your sister, correct? Here's the thing. We need to talk about either the time frame before you doing that. And I want to talk about something which I feel like I might open up a can of worms or open up Pandora's box. But were you going through some difficulties before your sister went sick or went ill?
Um, no. I mean, I've lived here for a while.
Okay, let me, I'm gonna try to put this on very delicate because we have mom here and I don't know if mom knows. Okay. Did you have like an, loose, again, I'm using this word loosely. Did you have like an addictive personality?
Yeah. When I
Okay.
did here like 10 years ago, and I was addicted to something.
Okay. Your sister wants to make sure that you take care of yourself. Again, she wants to make sure you focus on you. So whatever happened in the past, leave it in the past. That's not who you are. That doesn't identify you. That's what you experienced, but you're not that person. So make sure you understand that you hold yourself way effing up here and said, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, I'm gonna get through this. My sister's with me, I have my uncle, I have my grandmother. Like all these people are rooting for you. And I don't think you see the people that are rooting for you in your corner. And you need to recognize that because I feel like that you have so much support that is all around you, making sure that you're following through on the things that you need to do. Because I love the energy and the inspiration, but your uncle in some unique way is kind of like the one that wants to say like, again, he wants to be the advisor. He wants to oversee things in your life. He wants to go make sure that you're following through. Again, there's a lot of guidance that all your loved ones are doing in their own unique way, making sure that all you guys are following through the path that you guys need to do. Now, what's interesting here, I want to backtrack to your daughter, your sister, because I feel like there's something that I feel like I'm gonna miss that's so obvious. Would you guys have and I know this might sound a little bizarre or weird, but maybe not. During the time, and I don't want to get too personal with anything, but I feel like I'm gonna be wrong with this.
Mm.
Your daughter, your I is there something we need to bring up here? Like is it a EKG EKG? You know the heart monitoring thing? Would you have something that would be similar to like a heart pattern or a heart thing that we need to bring up here or the heart sound? Like I don't even know where she's going.
We have her last heartbeat,
Her last heartbeat.
hospital.
We were just talking about it yesterday or the other day about getting
We've been talking
a
like
tattoo.
Wow. Go get it done. Go get it done. Her soul and spirit will be right there with you, girls. Again, I was seeing the EKG, but I'm like, what is this thing? And so, long as I know that, then this is her way of saying that her soul and spirit will be with you. So, however you guys choose to honor her legacy and honor her soul and spirit by doing that tattoo is her way of saying again, thank you for doing that because I just feel like there's a way with her that she really wants to kind of put it out there and get that out there to make sure that you know again that she's with you. So obviously it's something that hasn't been done yet, but it's obviously a projection that she's bringing up here. So obviously if you guys, plan to do it in a month, couple weeks or a couple months down the road, her soul and spirit will be there with you. Now, one interesting thing that she did show me, again, I always have to give what I get in readings, even if it doesn't make sense. Um, so I really don't have a meaning for this, but maybe there might be a different meaning to you. You girls would I can't say obviously, but you would know who Kermit the Frog is, right?
Mhm.
Is there any reptile thing that we need to bring up here?
Oh my God. Every time before your Zoom group meetings and even this one, I'm like, Ariana, bring up the frog, bring up the frog. Because I used to tell her, Sana, Sana, Colita. Like, I know you don't know Spanish,
No,
but
I know. No, my grandma spoke nothing but Spanish. She used to say that to us.
I,
That you just gave me goosebumps.
I always tell her, bring up the frog, bring up the frog.
Wow. Well, she's bringing up the frog today. So if she never got the message across in any of the group sessions or never was able to communicate that to you, she's doing it today. So I feel like this is her way of listening to you and validating. Again, sometimes people ask for certain things and they don't come through in readings and it doesn't make the reading valid. And sometimes that one thing makes the whole reading valid. And sometimes other things that makes the reading valid, the evidence and all the messages. But this is part of your sister's way of saying like she was listening to you. Obviously, maybe I wasn't getting the message, but she was showing me Kermit the Frog and reptilian things. So long as I know it makes sense to you, this is her way of saying sana sana, obviously giving you that verb, I guess that verbiage, if you will, right back to you because I just feel like she's obviously feeling better. She's healed in some ways, and I just feel like this is part of your sister's way of making sure again that she's still with you. So in those little moments, which is not a common thing, I know it's more so Hispanic Latino type of thing that happens, but there might be something even very unique that may happen after the session. That might be a frog reference. You might see a frog somewhere. You might see a post of even of that saying. Like I don't know, but what I always tell people, if something like that is very specific, very unique, and you asked about it, you asked her to communicate it, there might be a different reason that she's going to communicate it with you even after the session to let you know that she's still around you. Obviously, I want to give you girls some time or some time to maybe ask any specific questions in general. But is there any questions that you ladies want to ask or throw out there? And again, I'll be honest and let you know, like, hey, I'm linking with you. I'm linking with that question. I'm getting it. If I'm not, I'm not. I just want to be very honest of what's coming through.
Oh, I haven't dreamt of her. It usually, like my brother, I dreamt of him after he passed, and my mom. I have dreams, but I haven't dreamt of my daughter. I just I just want to make sure she is okay. That she's like, you know what, mom, I was never gonna get better after the surgery. Like, I'm happy. Like, I just want to know she is happy, not to worry about her, because I'm trying to go on. It's just so hard
Mm.
for
Yeah,
me.
I mean, I can assure you that your daughter's absolutely positively fine in the way that she comes through, at least to me as a medium. But for us here in the physical realm, dealing with grief and dealing with the loss, especially the loss of a child, your daughter, your sister, um, that creates that blockage of us wanting that connection, wanting that dream, wanting the signs, and we don't see them as often as we like to, or we don't get the dreams as often as we want to. Just because you don't get the dreams or the visitations does not mean your daughter's not around you. Does not mean that she's not okay. It just represents more so where you're at in that grief, because sometimes the grief is so severe it blocks us from making our own true connection. Like even for me, like even though I do this work, I don't believe it or not, I don't have a lot of experiences of my loved ones because I do the work. It's kind of like they already know what I do, so it's kind of like they're taking away that experience from me at the same time, and even though I want it. So I'm kind of in the same boat with you, and when clients tell me like I don't get the dreams, I don't get that. And when I do get them, I get super excited. I get super happy. We're like, oh my God, this is super cool. So for you, take your time in that process. Those dreams, those visitations will happen over time, but your daughter might have dreams here. Like Miranda might have dreams. Your husband might have dreams. Might like everyone else may have all these experiences. It's because of how they're processing and how they're dealing with it, and you're just in a deeper part of that grief, and that's okay too. What you need to understand, Lisa, is that even the times of you grieving, being upset and wanting that connection, that's also you connecting with her, so please remember that.
No, no, that was the only one that I about her. Um, I don't think I have any. You're like spot on. We came up with her on a. It never happens with you, but it was a group session maybe like a month ago where another woman came up and it was both of us at the end of the Zoom. You were already gonna disconnect, and my sister came through, and it was like a bridge reading, and I have never heard you say being handicapped on, and I bought a lot of your Zoom meetings, and
Oh,
I've never say about being handicapped, and you brought it up on that Zoom, and
oh wow.
but you're just spot on, and it's amazing. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you for being open and receptive. More importantly, thank you for being patient with all those group sessions, because people, again, they've been to many of them and they don't get a reading, or sometimes people first time going on there, they get a reading. So again, it's kind of like, who's the loudest, who's the strongest. But even if it was like kind of like a bridge reading, your sister found an opportunity to jump in, because it's almost like it's like her. I'm like this person that's passed on. So if that was a point, your sister had that opportunity. So if there was a parallel bridge reading, that's the reason why it happened. So I'm glad even you got a short message or a longer message than this or that. Like I'm glad at least this happened here for you. And I appreciate you for just being open and receptive to the whole process, both of you girls, because like I may have not connected with her if your mother came through, to be quite frank, because of your mother, Lisa, is why your daughter came through, to be quite frank. So, everyone has those VIP people. Obviously, I can say that your daughter is that VIP person, your sister is that VIP person in the way that she comes through. No disrespect to anyone else, but your daughter, your sister is absolutely a beautiful soul, same soul who she was here in the physical realm, but we're kind of like fingerprint in the afterlife. We take the personality, the energy, the sass, the bossiness, all with us in the afterlife. But more importantly, continue to grow even in the afterlife as well. So don't ever feel that your daughter is stuck, ill, or sick by any means. Know that she's thriving spiritually speaking.
Oh, one quick question before you hang up.
Please.
When I was looking for her headstone, I normally Google things like that, but something made me go on Facebook to look for a headstone place, and I amazingly found a brother duo that they do headstones, and they're gonna do a butterfly one for her, but they're gonna do it for free. And it was just I was wondering, like, could my sister have guided me?
Absolutely. 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 I can tell you that from my own personal experiences, they will absolutely present people in your life. That was your sister's way of saying like, I want this, I need to get this done. And the fact that they're doing it for free, that's part of their inner working. As much as we feel like that, how did this happen? Why did we cross paths? Why did I find this Facebook page? Like all that stuff is nothing that we did. It's more so what they did. So I feel like this is part of your sister's way orchestrating things for you.
And there's also special need kids around her where she's buried
There's
Oh
so
wow.
with rare, it's rare, one rare disease. Two of them have it in common, and it's rare.
See, this is what I mean. That's divine intervention. That's divine connection. Like all that. Like again, as much as we try to put that together, they put it together.
Also, I just wanted to make sure.
we I know I haven't dreamt of her or anything, but I do feel her because my son is I'm gonna be a grandmother for the first time, and
They've been married for 10 years and they've had uh,
two
two
miscarriages.
miscarriages, and she's due 2 days before my sister passed away.
Oh, what?
Girl,
Okay.
already I had told her like November's a bad month for us, and then we found out that she was pregnant and the due date. It was like I feel like Ariana's like, I'm gonna make November a better month for you. You know, you're gonna have a grandbaby finally. Because I always said that God would not allow me to have a grandbaby because I would be taking care of her and the grandbaby. Like I'm a person who like takes care of everyone, and that was just too much. I always said
Yeah.
God's not gonna give me a grandbaby right now because I have Anyana. You know, I have her to take care of. And now that she's gone, now I'm gonna have a grandbaby.
You know, it's sometimes in a very weird way how things work out. You know, it's almost like they know that we're ready for it, even though you feel like that you're not ready for it, you are ready for it. So you're ready to be the grandmother, take care of the child. And again, in a very sad way, unfortunately, your daughter is not here physically to experience the new child. I think it's part of their way orchestrating again these little things because now you have time to be the grandmother and take care of the child and spend time with like you know what I mean. Like I know it sounds like a little selfless, selfish. You know what I mean? But it's something that I think that's the soul wants us to do and wants us to be part of. Like it's kind of like think of it this way in a very loose way, Lisa. Kind of see this as your daughter's way of releasing you from any accountability of taking care of her. That you can live your own life. You can focus on that. As much as you would not give that up, you would love for her to be here. It's something that she would want for you to live your life and focus on the things that you need to do for yourself. And that just shows the soul and the spirit of your daughter, what she truly wants. She's a very wise soul. If I can ask you something, how young or how old was she?
It's 29, but mentally she was like 6, 7.
She is very wise, honestly. She's a very wise soul in the way that she comes through. I don't get her as mentally as a 6 or 7 years old. She just comes through as someone who's very clear-minded, very knowledgeable, knows about life experiences, giving life experiences to you, mom. So just know that it's what she wants for you to do. It's kind of like your life begins today. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for again being open and receptive. I know you said you've been on Zoom before, but I don't know if you ever like actually got a copy or downloaded any of this stuff. But I'm gonna let you know in advance now. But also, my system will send it over into an email or to the online system, however they communicate with you. So just know if you do get your emails on a smartphone, you're going to be able to watch this video on a smartphone. Just because you can watch it on a smartphone does not mean it's downloaded. So just make sure you use a laptop, desktop, tablet to download the video. I don't know if it's going to work on an iPad, to be quite frank, because I don't think the download is iOS compatible with Zoom. Don't quote me on that, but double check it first. But you use a laptop, desktop, computer, to download the video because it does live on the front of our cloud for like 3 or 4 days, and then it's on the back end for like maybe another 10 days. After like a total of like 13, 15 days, depending on how much footage we have in videos. Sometimes that will be deleted a little bit earlier. So just make sure you download the video as soon as you can, in case there's any issues of like in the next couple of days of you can't download it. But just know once it's permanently deleted from Zoom, from the cloud, we don't have access to it. But it should be up there honestly on the front end for like 3 or 4 days, or maybe even longer. And then it's on the back end. If for some reason you can't download it over the weekend, just email Lynn and she'll assist you in the process. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. A lot of love to you, ladies, and a lot of love from your daughter, your mom, your mother-in-law, like your uncle, like your fur babies, like all these different energy that came through. Was such a magical reading, honestly, and thank you for allowing me to do this for you, and again, being open and receptive. So anytime you think about any of your loved ones, know that they're merely thought away. Okay.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
ladies. And again, you're gonna get a copy sent to you probably again tonight. If for some reason you don't get it by tonight, you should get it by tomorrow morning. Okay, but you should get it by tonight. Okay. Awesome. All right. You have a good night, ladies. Bye.